All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I'm John Gray, and I'm just plain living right here in Tullahoma, Tennessee.
Good morning, I'm Peggy Burton.
And I'm Jim Fuller. And it's a great place to be living in.
You know,
Sure
it is. Every time I
Yeah.
get in a big city with lots of traffic, I'm thinking, God, I want to get home to Tullahoma.
Yeah,
Don't you?
absolutely.
That is
Absolutely,
nice.
yeah.
It is. It's a nice place to live.
Yeah, because
Yes.
we've talked about this before, but anywhere you want to go in Tullahoma, you can probably get there in
You're
about
there
5
in 5 or
minutes.
6 minutes.
Yeah, so.
And, you know, I
And
don't
people
whether-
know you.
I don't
Yeah.
know whether it's getting because I'm older or what, but if you're not used to driving in the city, you can get hurt because
Oh, yeah.
they travel at a different speed, and
And
you got
expect
you got to stick your nose
Yeah.
out there and be ready to put your foot on the pedal
That's true.
to get in the flow, or
They're
they'll
going
run right
80
over
miles
you.
an hour, you better go 80
You know,
miles.
John and I used to live in Atlanta, and I don't think ever even thought anything about driving
No.
anywhere in Atlanta and at that point in our lives. But the last time I went through there, the speed limit through Atlanta on I-75 is 75, I think. You know, when I'm
It used to
driving,
be 85 when we
Yeah.
went down.
Oh, my goodness.
but I'm driving 75 through there, and people are passing me right
Passing
and
you.
left. I mean, everybody's passing me.
Yeah, that
So,
loop. It used to be the loop. If you weren't running and
Yeah,
gunning,
it was 285. Yeah.
yeah, you'd get run over quick.
Yeah. Oh well. Times
So,
have changed.
hey, this is Black History Month, and Jackie Duncan's supposed to stop by today and
Good.
give us a little rundown on that. But I want to tell you what: if you missed this guy Thursday night at South Jackson Civic Center, his name was Darius Wallace, and he portrayed Frederick Douglass, and it was probably the most amazing performance. One of the most amazing performances I've ever seen in my life anywhere.
I hope we can have him back.
Not just at South Jackson, but anywhere. This young man, he's from Memphis, and he's performed in the White House, and he's performed all over this country. Wrote this show himself. Studied Frederick Douglass from the time he was a preteen, and fell in love with this guy and did this show. He will be coming back, and you just need to see it. It's one of the most amazing things. He portrayed himself, his daddy, his grandmother, the slave owner, the slave.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And he, at one point, if you didn't look at his feet, you would think he was flying,
That's awesome.
because
yeah.
he did
That's
a thing
great.
about the chicken and the eagle, and it was just amazing. And so, you know, if you get an opportunity to see him, go see him, because he's a very, very wonderful young man and did an incredible job.
Oh, I wanted to remind people to get their tickets for the Eagles tribute band, Seven Bridges, is coming to South Jackson Civic Center March 3rd. That's a week from Thursday. Right?
Week from Thursday.
And it's a great group. If you haven't got your tickets, call the Civic Center or go online.
You know, John, I used to worry a lot about you because I was afraid you weren't getting enough culture in your life. But,
He's getting a lot of culture,
Since
isn't
Brandon went to work for the Civic Center, yeah, I think you're getting a fair amount of culture,
He
you know,
is. Wow.
refinement in your life.
I've always liked culture. I just hit it.
You are cultural.
Hit it. You know,
Of
Fran,
course you
well,
are.
my wife, as many men can say, my wife has caused me throughout our 41 years of marriage to agree to do a lot of things that I would have never done without her pushing me in that direction.
Sure.
And I would say that over 90% of the time, I have been thankful and enjoyed the experience that I would have never said, oh, I think I need to go see Frederick Douglass tonight.
Yeah.
I never would have done that.
And you're right.
But I
That's too bad.
enjoyed
Yeah,
it.
It's too bad.
And that's the problem with a whole lot of people, and that's the problem with keeping our arts and our culture alive particularly in a small town like this. Is, you know, people get in a rut, they get in a habit of doing what they do,
Sitting on the couch because it's so simple.
or going fishing every Thursday night, or going to a ball game every such and such. You know, we need to stretch ourselves and climb out of that little rut we're in and try something new every now and then. And a good place to do that's at South Jackson Civic Center.
Yes, it is. We have all kinds of stuff to play. The Community Playhouse has another weekend of
Trailer.
American Trailer Trash or Trailer Park.
American
I love
Trailer
that.
Park. It was hilarious.
It was fun, and that's this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then of course we have the Eagles coming on the 3rd, and you're going to bring somebody on today that's
Yeah, well, we have the
with
gala. We have the Great Gatsby Gala coming up on the 19th of March, and we have found this great band. We gave you a little taste of them last week, the Jake Leg Stompers, and we have a couple of those stompers here today, and we're going to let you meet them and listen to a little of the music that they do. And everything they do is pre-war. It's pre-World War music. It's pre-World War music.
Pre-World War One or two.
Whichever.
I think it's World War One.
World War One.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the stuff they do
Kinda
is from
leading into the 20s.
1800s
Right.
and the 20s,
Yeah.
and just incredible people. And back during the days of the old jug bands and string bands, and they're really good folks.
You were talking about how your wife brought culture into your life. I can't help but tell the story about Ralph, my husband. we always went to the symphony in San Antonio and went to lots of things because I love the arts. And one night we had purchased tickets for the flamenco group. And about halfway through, you know what flamenco dancers are, tap, 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 tap. About halfway through, he said, Peggy, next time just put a bullet in my brain.
Shoot me.
Just shoot me. And it was a lot of flamenco dancing.
Well, I mean, sometimes. Like I said, about 90% of the time, it's okay.
But I know. I saw some great things.
It's okay. What about we'll get a report from our political advisor over here. What's going on in the Democratic and Republican Party with all these primaries?
Well, obviously Donald Trump continues to surprise everybody on the Republican side, and at this stage of the game, he's probably got a very good chance to win that nomination, which would be interesting. Everybody kept thinking he would fade, including me.
But he's still up there.
He's still
and
up
it's
there.
kind of boiled down to him, Cruz, and Rubio,
Yes,
and
I'd
maybe
say.
Sanders.
And Rubio is probably the establishment candidate. I mean, if you're a longtime Republican and conservative, you're probably for Rubio. But and Cruz, of course, a little bit different kind of
politician.
Maybe
yeah.
you might classify him as a Tea Party Republican. And then Trump, we don't know where he's coming from, but
We have lots
he
of choices.
resonates with voters. And the same on the Democratic side. Hillary Clinton went into this thing big favorite on the Democratic side, and but
Sanders is
Sanders
coming along.
Sanders really has touched the younger people. I mean, college age kids
Right.
on up,
Right.
and nobody ever expected him to do this well. And it's still, I guess, after Super Tuesday, which is March the 3rd, when there's a lot of primaries
Right.
that day, the whole picture perhaps will clear up a little bit more. But right now, it's I'd say surprises that both Sanders and Trump have stayed this
Viable.
Now, of course, on the Democratic side, there's this thing called superdelegates, and you've probably heard that term, superdelegates, which they can kind of line them up before the primaries because I guess it's kind of the wild card thing that helps you make sure that
Push on through.
Well, that you stick to the party principles or
Right,
something like
right.
that. However, I think they're supposed to vote like your primary turns out, but they don't have to. They're not bound
Right,
by that.
right.
So Hillary Clinton.
That's when they turn from statesmen into pure politicians. They can do whatever they want to.
Sure, but right now Hillary Clinton has a pretty big lead on total delegates. I think they need 2,500 or something like that, 2,400 to win the Democratic nomination, and Hillary's got about 500 and something, even though she's won one primary barely in Iowa and won by not a huge margin or rather lost in New Hampshire, so expected to win probably in South Carolina, but it's pretty close. But still, at this stage of the game, she's got a big lead in delegates. Bernie's got about 70, and she's got about 500, the way that all works out.
Isn't that amazing?
It's kind of
how all that stuff works. It's so
I
confusing.
know. It is confusing to me.
It's so confusing. And
I have to be careful what I say, but I almost have this theory that you ought to at least have identification before you vote of some kind, being a citizen of this country, don't you think?
Well, you do.
Do you have to? I mean, I feel like,
don't, you know, every state's different, but you definitely do in Tennessee.
well, I hope so.
Yeah, so.
And a job wouldn't
You-
hurt.
And of course, there's people who are devoutly against that because they think you're going against someone's rights, forcing them to go out of their way to get identification when maybe they can't get there because they're poor, old, or crippled or something. And
Well, yes,
So I mean,
there-
there's two sides to that story. There's
Well,
two
sure.
sides to everything
Every-
in this
every
country.
story.
Of course there is. I think, you know, in retrospect, that it probably wasn't a bad idea to have a picture ID, a photo
Yeah.
ID.
I think it's a good
just that-
idea.
It's just it got put in to the, you had to do that by law before there was really a means to look and say, okay, I'm 80 years old and I live in 30 miles or 50 miles away from the nearest driver's license station.
Right.
And I haven't ever had, since I was 60, I haven't had to have my picture on my driver's license.
Yeah.
Now I do. I mean, the law itself, I don't think was bad. It was just that they should have took a little more time
Yeah.
to think through
Right.
those
Sure.
things so that it wasn't such a hardship on some people, because some people just don't vote because
Because they just want to go to the trouble.
they're not going to drive 50 miles to get their picture on
Right.
their driver's license and that sort of thing.
Oh.
We're fortunate here in Tullahoma, however,
Yeah.
there's one right here, so it's not a big deal.
So it's just, you know, it's time to go.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do right now, folks, is we'll take a quick commercial break. Don't you go away. We have great breaking news on the show today. We have the chief getting ready to talk to us about some stuff. Jake Leg Stompers are here, and Ava Lynch just came in over
Jackie
here.
Duncan's coming?
Jackie Duncan's supposed to come. Trent McNabb's supposed to come about an
He's got
award
big news,
that,
too, yeah.
that Stan McNabb
good.
dealerships has won. Don't go away, folks. We're going to have a big time after we come back after this short commercial break. We'll see you then.
The Kia Summers on Us sales event is going on right now at Russell Barnett Kia of Tullahoma. Let me tell you about this event. Purchase a new Kia Sedona, Kia Optima, Kia Forte, and receive 0% financing up to 66 months and your first 3 payments for free. For a limited time only, no strings attached. With America's best warranty, the 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, Kia is the power to surprise. The Kia Summers on Us sales event going on right now. Why buy anywhere else?
All I have to do to think about what I was physically before and what I am now, and I don't ever want to go back to that original situation.
The overall mission of the rehab team is always what is best for the patient and how we can facilitate maximum potential from every resident.
Well, the most important thing to me is that I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do, you know.
Everyday miracles at Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us on the set now for our segment we call Police Pointers, Paul Blackwell, who is the Tullahoma Police Chief, who you know quite well by now, I imagine, because we've been doing this, what, a couple of years?
A couple of years.
Yeah.
Twice a month. And
I know a whole lot more about the
Well, good.
workings of the
That
police
was the
department as a
intent.
result of this, you know.
good. And I hope those people out in TV land have learned something.
Well, I've learned, one of the most important lessons I think I've learned is that it's $165 or something like that for most of the fines around here.
Right.
So you might ought to kind of take this serious because it ain't cheap.
It's not cheap at all.
You know.
The days of the $10 ticket are long gone.
Yeah.
You know, even with the state's recent passing of the seatbelt law, that's gone up now to where it's a $25 fine for not wearing your seatbelt.
Yeah. Unreal.
First offense.
Yeah, first. And does it go up?
The second offense, it's a little bit more, and
And that's a new law that was just enacted.
Well, you had to wear your seatbelt, mandatory seatbelt wear, but the amount of the fine has gone up. So,
Unbelievable. Yeah. Who knew?
it's always something.
Yeah.
Legislature's in session now, and come about July, we'll see what the new stuff is. And
I was wondering, if you're an ordinary citizen, you don't read the papers and you don't get on the internet, which would be highly unlikely. You don't necessarily know that the laws have changed, but they probably notify police departments.
Well,
do they not?
Yes and no. Some of the organizations, MTAS and the legislature, will put out packets, that'll talk about what the new laws are. And generally, we're talking 25 to 30 pages of laws that basically me or one of the senior staff have to go through and find which are police related, and then we have to extract it and then put it together in some kind of presentation for the officers so they'll know what the new laws are.
Yeah.
And that's
I would assume the police there are police organizations that have lobbyists that try to look after their interests.
We have from the Chiefs Association, we have our executive director. She's not a lobbyist, but she's our executive director, and she spends a lot of time up at the Capitol. The Sheriff's Association has an executive director who spends a lot of time.
Okay.
So they're kind of our voice up at the Capitol.
Now, I spent some time as a lobbyist 20 years ago, and I always felt like that for specific groups, if you've got, kind of isolated issues and stuff, as a police department would, not something everybody would think about. I mean, some of these laws are really important to you guys, are they not?
They are.
Because some of them could really affect you in a bad way.
And we have a process. The Chiefs Association, we meet every other month. And this time of the year, we have our legislative review, where we'll talk about a lot of the proposals that are out there, and then we will rank them. Which ones do we feel are most important to us as police and to our community? And then we'll pick what we call our top 3. And then those are the 3 that our executive director, our president, and other chiefs will go and speak to our representatives about. So yes, it is. We try to stay on top of how will it affect our communities, how will it affect us as police, and affect how we do our job.
And I think it's good to inform legislators of that, because they won't always know that. They won't have a clue about what the ramifications are.
And it's not uncommon for me to get in touch with either Senator Bowling or Representative Matheny and share with them what the thoughts are from the police chief's standpoint, so that when they go into these hearings and these discussions, they'll have a little bit of background of, how does their chief feel about it, and and offer up some alternatives.
Okay.
So it's a process.
Yeah.
And
it is.
sometimes we come out the way we want it to, and sometimes it doesn't.
That's the way it works, and hopefully in the end it all balances out. So.
And then sometimes we see a couple years later there's a going backwards, maybe to correct maybe it wasn't the best idea in the first place, and so we have to stay on top of it.
And I'm not going to get you into this conversation, but you can comment or not. But I know you probably have an opinion. But I noticed that there was this. They were considering allowing guns in Legislative Plaza in Nashville, and fortunately, or I'm not. Well, I guess you could say fortunately, but it was nice that the Speaker of the House and the Senate got together with the state troopers who are charged with actually enforcing security there, and had a discussion about that, and decided that, well, maybe we won't do that just yet. Let's give this more thought,
and
which I think is probably a good idea.
That was probably the prudent way to deal with it, because Colonel Trott over the Highway Patrol had some concerns, because his folks have to deal with that, and I think it's important for them to have input, just as when other issues come up that would impact our community, that the police, the fire, public works, whoever, maybe has a dog in the race, has a chance to say how this might impact us. Can we do it?
Right.
Do we have the resources to do what this is going to make us do?
And we sort of already, got over into that political arena just a little bit in the first, so I get all this out of the way on this show. But I would think that the Tennessee legislature, people have strong feelings both ways about this, that might be a place that I personally wouldn't want everybody coming in there to be able to have a gun. But there's two sides to that.
There's two sides to it, and oftentimes I can take the stance of whatever the law is, that's what we're going to enforce.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say that's an easy way out, but that's what we do.
No, most lawyers will tell you they can either argue for you or against you.
Yeah. We could debate all day long, and whether anyone's going to win or not.
Exactly.
But the bottom line is, if it's the state law, then we have an obligation to enforce it.
Absolutely.
And that's our legislatures are the ones we select to go up and represent us, and as you said, that whole system of how it works. And if we don't like what our legislators do, we don't vote for them.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
Maybe we need to get off the soapbox before we go too far.
Let's go talk about traffic lights.
Traffic lights. We've had a lot of strange weather recently, and last week we had some storms that knocked out a couple traffic lights. And last night when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about one of the Andy Griffith episodes. I guess I can say Andy Griffith. I guess I can promote a show.
Absolutely.
But it's where Barney is trying to teach Otis how to drive. Because I was thinking last night, I need to bring in a whiteboard and draw an intersection and get some magnetic cars and do all this. And I thought about Barney. He drew it on the floor.
Yeah.
And him and Otis got down on their hands and knees, and Barney said, "Okay, I'm in this car approaching this stop sign. What do you do?" And Otis just revs it up and crashes into Barney.
Yeah.
And Barney obviously taking it serious.
Sure.
Otis laughing.
Oh, sure.
Well, we kind of have, when our lights go out, it's almost like Otis crashing into people. And it's something I felt, okay, we need to share this again. There's two instances. One is when our traffic lights go completely dark. Nothing's working. And the other is when they go to a flashing mode. When they're completely out, you've got to treat that intersection as a four-way stop. Pull up, who has the right-of-way, who got there first, all that type stuff. And you got to be careful, because you're going to have that person, that Otis, who's going to come barreling down the road, and regardless of what that light's doing, they're going to go through that intersection.
Right.
You've got to be extremely cautious. And the other is when they go to flash. Generally, it's one side will be yellow and the other side will be flashing red. If it's flashing yellow, you treat it like a yield. You approach it, you slow down, you make sure it's clear, and you go through the intersection. If you're approaching the red flashing, you treat it as a stop sign. You pull up, you stop, and you wait till it's clear to go through. Sounds simple, but inevitably what will happen, you'll have someone coming down facing a yellow light, and they'll stop. Maybe they're trying to be nice to let that other side pass through, but let's take Jackson Street, where you got two lanes going which direction. One car stops, that other car is coming up beside them in the other lane. They don't stop, and now we got a T-bone in the middle of the intersection. So don't try to be courteous in those circumstances. Slow down, make sure it's clear, proceed on through. Those people facing the red light are just going to have to wait until it's clear, but don't create another potential accident, because our accident possibilities increase dramatically at that point because the signals aren't working. And we've spoken before about how flustered people get just at a four-way stop sign. Yeah, and so this is even worse when people that are used to going down Jackson Street at 30 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden they see a yellow flashing light, they go into nervous mode. So if the signal's not working at all, treat it as a stop sign. Everybody has to stop. If it's flashing yellow, treat it as a yield sign, slow down, make sure it's clear, and proceed through the intersection. If it's a red flashing, stop. And like I say, if you got a yellow, don't be courteous. Go on through, because you're creating a much greater danger if you try to stop and wave someone across, not knowing what those other vehicles are going to do.
That's a great analysis on Jackson Street, because
That's where it was the other day. And normally we would not put an officer out at that intersection because the lights are doing what they're supposed to, and drivers are supposed to do what they're doing. You know, we talked before about how many traffic signals we have in Tullahoma. I don't know if you recall, but we got 19 traffic signals. If every one of them went out, there's no way the police department could man every one of those.
And that could happen.
And it could very well happen, or half the town, you know.
Right.
And you know, that's why they go to flash, so that drivers have to obey that signal and do what's called for, because we're going to have other things going on.
Right.
And we just don't have that. I was talking to a man the other day that said he moved to Tullahoma when there were only 4 traffic lights.
Yeah.
And I said, well, now we have 19.
Yeah. Right.
So we have quite a few more. And we've got to have the public's help on that. When they approach that, slow down and do what the signal tells you you're supposed to be doing.
Okay, good information, Paul, and doesn't happen all that often, but
it does, and that's why it's so important, because it doesn't happen a lot.
Right.
And you've got to go into that uh-oh mode.
Yeah.
What do I do? And make sure that you do what the law requires and what is required for the safety of other people.
My philosophy is don't. However, I'm not the expert to do what Paul said.
I'm not the expert either. Just
my philosophy is I always try to turn right and just keep from having to cross.
Well,
the
you know, there's a couple of those delivery people that only make right-hand turns.
Yeah.
Because you know it is safer and you know supposedly uses less gas because you're not sitting in an intersection waiting to turn.
I hadn't thought of that, but I guess you're right.
But,
all right.
Yeah, it's always easy to make a right turn.
Yeah, exactly. Paul, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Great information.
Drive carefully.
I try.
Cautiously and carefully.
I have been told. I've been educated on this, so I should know.
You should.
I
yes.
should know. That's right. Folks, we'll be right back with more living right after this.
Hello, I'm Larry McIntosh, and I'm asking you to elect me to be your property assessor. I have worked as a CPA and have 15 years of accounting experience. In addition, I worked for 16 years as a classroom teacher. I have a strong faith in God, and I currently serve as Sunday school director and deacon at my church. My experience as a CPA will allow me to capably and professionally lead the property assessor's office. The taxpayers of Coffee County deserve a property assessor who treats them with respect and is fair, honest, and responsible. I pledge to be that person. I, Larry McIntosh, ask you to elect me to be your property assessor on Tuesday, March 1st. Early voting starts Wednesday, February 10th. Thank you, and may God bless.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Dads and father figures. Before she's all grown up, dance with her at the Starry Night Father-Daughter Dance, Saturday night, February 20th at 6:30. The fun is just $35 for a night of memories with your special daughter or daughters. Your evening will be hosted by DJ Cat and feature dance lessons, delicious desserts, photo, a special gift, and more. You'll leave proud knowing you've created a special moment for her and that your support benefits Partners for Healing. Reserve your tickets now for the Starry Night Father-Daughter Dance, February 20th.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
All right, I told you folks earlier, we had all kinds of exciting news today on the show, and one of the most exciting things for me is an opportunity to bring my friend Miss Ava Lynch up here with us today. And Ava has been involved with Harton Regional Medical Center for quite some time in the marketing and information sharing department. And Ava has some really, really, really big news today. And share.
The local hospital, Harton Regional Medical Center, as of yesterday, 10 a.m., we became part of the Tenova network across Tennessee, Tenova Healthcare Harton.
Located in Tullahoma.
Right.
And now, will you explain to us what exactly that means and what type of benefit it brings to the people here who deal with Harton Regional Medical Center, and now that it's part of a network, how that helps them even to deal with things when you're traveling or need help somewhere other than right here?
Sure. Well, the Tenova name means Tennessee, T-E-N-N, or Nova, which is new, bright, illuminating. So together that is the network across the state of Tennessee. Yesterday, 4 of the Middle Tennessee hospitals joined the network. We're still owned, all 17 hospitals in Tennessee, by Community Health Systems, CHS, which that acquisition took place 2 years ago, about the same time. So we will be part of that big name that's identifiable, whether you're in Jackson, Tennessee, or Knoxville, spreads across the state. In Middle Tennessee, yesterday, it included Clarksville, so it's Tenova Healthcare Clarksville, Tenova Healthcare Lebanon, Tenova Healthcare Shelbyville, and then Tenova Healthcare Harton here. We were the only facility that was allowed to keep part of its original name. Mr. Spray explained to the powers that be what the Harton name means, what the Harton Hospital has meant to the community. Next year in January, it'll be 50 years.
50 years, that's right.
Since Harton Hospital came about. So they did allow us to keep that rather than go with just the city name, because we want to be the provider and retain that reputation that Harton has had for so long. So yesterday at 10, we had a media and community leader announcement, just making it formal. Several months ago, a couple of months ago, I guess it's been, everything's a blur, but we've been working. This doesn't happen easily.
No, it doesn't.
It takes a lot of behind the scenes. We've had a good transition team at the hospital, including all those department leaders and folks who would be involved and be first impacted by this kind of transition. But we had first, Mr. Spray had talked to our board of trustees with the idea and what was happening and the reasons for, and then medical staff, and then we had town hall meetings with our employees to show them what was coming about, because you know, so many times in so many businesses, the employees feel they're the last to know anything. If they didn't take advantage of the town hall meetings, I couldn't do anything about that. But the ones that came and the word that spread, and of course you couldn't keep a secret. We have 500
in a small town.
Well, 550 full-time employees, another 200 to 300 part-time employees. You've told the board, you've told the physicians. So Beauty Shop Talk was out there. I did hear, you know, get a couple of calls and things like that, and of course couldn't comment. Would love to have told everybody, media included, what was going on. But it was a big day, and so all 4 hospitals announced, in Middle Tennessee announced at the same time yesterday. So to keep everybody on a level playing field, we were excited. We had, besides the announcement, we had an employee barbecue lunch catered, so our dietary department wouldn't have to do all the work.
Very good.
They got all kinds of swag, t-shirts, their lunch. Then we came back again last night for the night shift, about 9:30, served them, made them feel a part of. We all got new badges, green.
Busy girl.
Yes, and it will continue. The signage will change. There's some temporary signage that was put up yesterday morning just banners around the entrance off Jackson and off Cedar. So you'll see those when you travel around the hospital. We will be having, our hospital signage will say Tennova Healthcare Harton, but most everything else we do will just say Tennova Healthcare and our address in Tullahoma.
Right.
So when we're out, or I know the thing that's out and about now are the sports field signs and things like that.
Right.
But it will have, we will have one shared website, Tennova.com. You'll go to the website, or you can now. It will show all the bullets for East, West, and Middle, the locations of the 17 facilities. You'd click on that for your area. We'll have a website. Well, it's existing, but all of our information hasn't been transferred over, or there's a few glitches in electronics. But
always.
You just had to wait till the switch was flipped before you really knew. But Tennova Medical Group, and that's our clinics and our employed physicians and providers will be on that website. On the Tennova.com, if you choose Harton, it will be the same physicians, all of our active and courtesy staff there for all, because we appreciate all our providers in the area, not just our employed clinics.
Well, you know, and we've been very fortunate in this town because of the 50 years of support for Harton Hospital by the community at large, which is how the money was initially raised. It wasn't city dollars, it was people like you and me writing checks and making donations to the hospital. And
I know the Harton family donated the land.
Donated the land and donated a lot of money as well. Because of that support, you know, we have an incredible hospital here. And when you have an incredible facility, it brings incredible doctors to the area.
It does.
And we are, like I've said so many times, drive 400 miles around out from Tullahoma and find a little town with 16,000 people in it and look and see what kind of medical facility you have. They probably don't have a medical facility.
Exactly. And in this day and time in business, even though you don't like to think of it, healthcare is business.
Yes, it is.
You have to join forces with the large. Luckily, it's family network across the state, but we're still family here in Tullahoma.
Tennova Healthcare. Ava, thank you
so
dear,
much. Yes, sir.
for sharing this with us, and tell all the powers that be that, as we always have here on our television network, which reaches 6 counties, guys out there, by the way, and Shelbyville being included in that. We have always and always will continue to support the good works done there.
We certainly appreciate it.
Okay, dear, thank you.
Thank you so
much. Good luck with all of that stuff, too. Folks, we'll be right back after these messages.
We get closer to a world with more birthdays when we take cancer patients by the hand. We help them find answers and guidance and hope, and give them more candles to light. We're the American Cancer Society. Help create a world with more birthdays at morebirthdays.com.
This is John Gray reporting on the girls at Bailey Manor getting ready to go to the Great Gatsby Gala at South Jackson Civic Center.
So I said to him, "Are you sure about that?"
So, have you heard about the parties?
Yes, I heard they were the most lavish parties ever. And they're at the Gatsby Mansion. It is huge. The food, the dancing, the parties. It's like a party you've never seen.
Gatsby? Which Gatsby?
Why, Jay Gatsby, of course. Where have you been hiding?
Jay Gatsby, the millionaire?
Yes, he's rather elusive, but he has been having these lavish parties and everyone is invited.
Everyone?
Everyone.
So, when's the next one?
March 19th.
That's what I heard. It's at his South Jackson Street mansion.
Why, that's only in a few weeks. Girls, we have got to go. Absolutely. You know what that means.
New clothes. Shopping!
That's the report from Bailey Manor, where the girls are getting ready for the Great Gatsby Gala at South Jackson Civic Center. Call for reservations today, 455-5321.
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
I'm so glad you came back for this set. I have Jackie Duncan on the set with me. Jackie, it is always so good to see you, and I'm expecting a poem to roll right out of your mouth when we speak.
We can do it.
We could do it. You got one on the tip of your tongue?
Oh, I do. I always have one on the tip of my tongue.
Let's have it.
Oh, I have chased a dream a time or two in search of things on my own. I have seen the glittering gold of life and wandered far from home. The things I sought I already had when blinded eyes could see. For the place I left in search of my dream was the place that cried out to me. Oh, there's something about the atmosphere. Kindness fills the air. Mama said there's so much love, God often visits there. If you search the whole world over, none other you'll find the same that likens her uniqueness or even shares her name. Her secret seems to have captured my heart, for my spirit yearns to be where love, peace, and hope reside, Tullahoma, Tennessee.
Oh, wow. That just brought tears to my eyes.
Thank you.
'Cause it made me think about when my husband was military and we traveled all over the world, and I'll never forget the feeling of flying into Nashville for the last time and thinking how good it is to be home.
Oh boy, no place like
beautiful.
home.
That was beautiful.
No place like
Well, we're going to talk a little history today. Where do you want to start?
Well, since this is Black History Month, I'd like to just remind everybody that there are a couple of programs still yet to happen. Actually, on Friday at the University of Tennessee Space Institute at 10 o'clock, they're having their annual Black History program, and I forget which one this is, the 19th or something around there, but they've been doing it for a long time, and I don't think I've ever missed a one.
What time of day is that?
It's at 10 o'clock in the morning, And the speaker is Monty Burks, and this young man has a story to tell. I don't know what his subject is going to be about, but if he tells anything about his life, it is inspiring, truly inspiring. So I think anybody who has wants to hear a great life story should be there for that. He's got that. He's also was a part of the, I think he still is a part of the, it's a rehabilitation program that we actually have in our county jail. And,
that's a good thing.
It's a program to stop recidivism. And, you know, I've been preaching about this for a long time, and I thought I was preaching to the choir, but I think, you know,
somebody was listening.
A lot of people have been listening, and the county mayor especially.
Good.
Gary Cordell, he's taken an active, he's picked this ball up and running with it. So we've done quite a few things, gone places and looked at other programs, and they're looking at programs to actually help with the jail.
So you're implementing these programs at our jail in Coffee County?
It has been, and it's not at this moment.
Okay.
It was until the funding ran out. The program was headed by Mrs. Christine Hopkins, and she's a dynamic lady, and she started in Franklin County, and I think she got grant money where she took it to Warren County and to Coffee County, but she didn't get funded. I think some of her funding got shut down, and so she came to the Coffee County Commission for funding, to see if we would fund her for I think from when the money ran out at the end of January, I believe, through the end of the fiscal year in July. But they didn't at the time, but we are going to do that because it's a great program, and we're going to do it one way or the other. I don't know whether it's her program or our people are going to pick it up or how that's going to work out.
The important thing is this is going to make a difference.
It's going to make a difference.
And I think if we can do anything in this world, we need to try to make a difference.
We can make a difference.
Well, back to Monty, you said there was a couple of programs coming up, and so that one's Friday at 10 at UTSI.
That was Friday at 10, and I encourage everyone to attend that one. They have a great reception when it's over. I mean, the program is great, and the food's always great, and just the camaraderie is great. You know, it's just a great program.
This event is for everybody.
It's for everybody.
And
it's free.
Young and old.
Young and old, and it's free. So this is for Friday.
Is that sponsored by UTSI?
UTSI puts it on every year. And the next program is a culmination. It's a group that I'm a part of. Actually, we started the AEDC Black History Program like 30 years ago when I was working there. I've been retired 15 now, but
that seems impossible to me.
But it's the blessing. Oh God, it's the blessing. And it's been. We started that program. I know about 30. It was 30 years ago, I believe. And so they just had theirs on last week. And this program, the group that I'm with, we started out with a gospel choir, and we sang out there. And so the choir has gone on for 30 years now, and it formed into a multi-county choir. So right now we're composed. Our choir is composed of members from 6 counties.
That's awesome.
6 counties.
And so do y'all come together once a week?
We come once a year.
Once a year, okay.
Actually, we come together starting in January, and usually and come together and rehearse up till the last weekend in February. And the program is a culmination of Black History on the 4th Sunday in February. So we'll do our annual gospel extravaganza on this coming Sunday.
On this Sunday, where?
It'll be in Winchester at the Elk River District Association Tabernacle.
Where is that located?
It's at 87 Crestwood Drive.
87 Crestwood Drive, Sunday afternoon.
Crestview Drive, I believe.
Okay.
I think, yeah. But anyway,
it sounds like a great, exciting event.
Oh, it is, and it's at 4 o'clock on Sunday.
About how many is in the group?
Oh, on a good day, there's 50 people in the group.
That's
probably.
Wonderful.
And actually, we did sing this past weekend. We sang at Charlotte Chapel here in town.
Yeah.
For a program there, so it was a blessing and everybody wasn't able to make it on that occasion, but they will be there next Sunday.
I'm going to revert back to Black History, and just before we started this interview, I had asked you, had you gone to Stamps to graduate?
I did.
And I wasn't in the country then, and I'm kind of curious to know some of the things you remember about, say, your senior year.
Oh boy, a lot of things, I guess. If I stop and think about it, I was into a little bit of everything. I was into sports. I don't know. A lot of times I think you always have your favorite teachers, and I think all of them pretty much were my favorite. Most of them were anyway, the older ones.
I'll bet you were a good student.
I was a good student.
I'll bet you were.
I was.
I think your mama would have said on you if you weren't a good student.
She would have, but yeah, I was valedictorian in my class for one thing.
I'm not at all surprised.
But that was a blessing. I thank God for that. It wasn't anything that I did to make it happen.
And
you've got something to develop. You need to develop it. That's just life itself, and whatever you got to work with, you got to do the best you can with it. So
absolutely, and obviously you have all this time.
Well, I have all this time.
So when you graduated, had integration begun?
No.
Because I was not in the country then. However, I had taught school when I first got out of college in Smyrna, and that was the first integrated 6th grade.
Okay.
I had a 6th grade. So it didn't happen here that soon.
I think the school system integrated here I graduated in '63. There was one more year at CD Stamps, or actually Davidson Academy at the time. '64 was the last graduating class.
The last class.
Last graduating class. Then the integration at '65, I believe.
And then everything changed somewhat.
It did.
We got to come back and talk about that, because there's so much that has gone on in just this community, as well as all communities. And they've given me the big X, and I have to tell you goodbye. And Jackie, just having you here again, I got to get a copy of that poem. Thank you. We'll be back.
It's time for every family and business in Tullahoma to go green and recycle. Tullahoma Public Works makes it simple and easy to recycle. Just place your recyclable materials, paper, plastic, aluminum, and cardboard beside your garbage container on the same day your garbage is picked up. Your recycled materials don't have to be in a fancy container. Recycling is not only the right thing to do, it makes sense. Recycling pays. Paying to bury our garbage costs each of us. Please do your part. Let's go green, Tullahoma, and recycle.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
And I'm Jacob. I'm the Rooster.
And I'm the Red Mate. And we would like to welcome you to
Roosterware.
Yes, Roosterware is a cottage industry producing accessories for men, women, children, babies, and pets. All items are hand cut and sewn locally. Roosterware specializes in bow ties, pocket squares, scarves, cufflinks, neckties, and aprons of all sizes for all ages. Baby products include onesies, diaper covers, bibs, and burp pads. All bow ties, tie it yourself or pre-tied, come with an adjustable neckband. All products can be made with the material of your choice, as special orders are available upon request. Don't be standing back looking at fashion. Create your own with Roosterware.
Come visit us at
roosterandredmaiden.com
to find our handcrafted designs for
the cock of the walk.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Get your news first, fast, and free with your news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Local weather, sports, community calendar events, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Get it first, fast, and free with News Leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us on the set now my good friend, and I always enjoy having this guy here because he's got the best job in the world, my friend Trent McNabb, and, who is the general manager of the Chevy Cadillac Buick GMC dealership in Tullahoma. Trent and I were talking before you came on, and before we came on the air, and I asked Trent if didn't he agree that he has the best job in the world, and what did you say?
I do, yes. I love cars so much,
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine not being in the car business.
Did you grow up, did you love cars when you were younger as well?
I did, yes. Once I realized I wasn't going to make it playing golf.
That was your first love, though.
That was my first love.
Yeah, right.
So once I figured out that wasn't going to work, I needed a day job.
Yeah.
Got into cars then.
Well, this is a good one. Did you walk around as a teenager and looking out there and say, Dad, can I drive this, or can I have this? And
I always wanted to. He always took me for rides in the Corvette, which that's still to this day my favorite car. And I remember getting and riding with him in that car, and it's just incredible.
Yeah, okay. And you always keep 2 or 3 Corvettes out there for sale, I think, don't you?
We stock several and sell several of them. We've probably got 15 or better out there now.
No kidding. No, I was thinking it was just
used and new.
Right, yeah, okay. So you actually, now, since you're the general manager, you get to drive them if you want to, right?
Occasionally.
And do I recall that this year's Corvette is something really new? It's changed a lot, or we talked about that once?
Yes, sir. So in 2014 is when it came out, and they've called it the Stingray, which is going back to the 60s model car. And it's just been an unbelievable hit. I mean, the car looks great. For the first time, it's a world-class car. You know, it's competing with cars that are much more expensive than it. and they're selling really well. Used to, we'd only sell maybe 5 or 6 new Corvettes a year, and now we're selling over 20 a year. This new body style.
Unbelievable.
They just did a great job with it.
And do they still have that deal where if you prefer, you buy a new Corvette, you can do it, you can go take delivery at the Corvette Museum?
At the museum, yeah, sure can.
Okay.
And they've even expanded on that where you can do a buyer's tour now where you can actually walk your car down the assembly line.
No kidding.
And I don't know of anywhere else you can do that. And right here in Bowling Green, you know, it's only a 2-hour drive away. You can go see your Corvette being built.
You mean you can actually see it from start to finish?
Start to finish. Going right down the line.
That's pretty cool.
And the employees will even let you participate in it, whether it's screwing a couple bolts in or putting a piece on there. They're very friendly there.
Unbelievable. So you've actually went and seen that process?
Yes, sir. I got to tag along with one of our customers. He invited me to go with him, and it was quite an experience.
Unbelievable. Okay. Well, see, that's why he's got the best job in the whole world.
That's right.
For goodness sakes. Off the subject for just a moment, and then we're going to get back to what you were talking about. You were a fabulous golfer in high school. And do you still get to play much, or?
At one time, I was decent, but now, you know, work's getting in the way of that.
Yeah.
And I play maybe once a month now. And
that's unbelievable.
Yeah, I wish, and I want to get out there more. I want to start setting aside some time for it because I still love playing, and we're lucky to have Lakewood Country Club here in town. John, the pro out there, and Dan, the green superintendent, Channing, and the restaurant, they do a great job. We're lucky in a small town to have a golf course in that good a shape and that nice of a club.
Yeah, but golf, I guess, is a game that I don't play anymore. Hardly at all, but when I did, I wasn't very good. But I'm guessing that's something you really got to work at if you're going to.
It is, yeah, and it varies for people, but the less you get out there, the worse your game's going to get. It's just a proven fact. So.
Yeah, but you know, from reading papers and seeing you guys play, the McNabbs and
even Dustin Lynch.
Dustin Lynch.
They played golf here.
There have been so many young men that have done so well at that. And I'm so old, because I'm about your dad's age, but I'm so old that when it was just a sport starting in high school, when I was in high school, I was senior in high school. Your dealership, the Chevy dealership, won a very prestigious award recently. Tell us about that.
We did. So we were the DealerRater.com Dealer of the Year. So it's an annual recognition program, and it's all based on online reviews. So it's customers going onto their website and leaving a review about their service experience, sales experience, and they rate us on the quality of work, the experience, the pricing, and then they can leave a few comments about it. So, and we were awarded for the state of Tennessee Dealer of the Year, and we really appreciate the customers taking the time to do that and share their experience, because I mean it takes 5 minutes or so going online and then registering and putting it on there for us. But I just appreciate them taking the time to do it, and our team, at our store, giving the customers that experience.
That's pretty unbelievable when you consider the size of Tullahoma and how many Chevy dealerships are there in this? There's a lot of them in this state.
Yeah, there's 3,000 in the country, so I imagine Tennessee's got a couple hundred anyway.
Yeah, unbelievable. Were you surprised when you found out about it?
We were trying to track it as we went along through the year, and knew we were in the running, but we had to wait on the official announcement from DealerRater.
Unbelievable. And I would guess that's something that a lot of people may say, yeah, they're great guys out there and they do a great job, but they're not going to take the time to go write something about that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I know even I'm guilty of it, because when I do go shop for a product, I'll read reviews, about it and see what other people are saying. And I should in turn, take the time to leave a review, because it does help other people.
Sure.
Whether you're buying a computer or a car or whatever else it may be, it definitely helps others in the buying process.
Did your dad ever win that award?
He didn't.
He didn't. Okay. What about your brother?
he got most of the way there. He did get the top customer satisfaction award. So,
oh, okay.
So he's in there with us.
Okay. Well, that's your dad has a great history and has tremendous respect for people in the automotive business and around Tullahoma. But you got something on him now.
That's right.
Okay. All right. So I guess they'll be coming. Okay, I'm going. I'm wrapping up. Okay. But I guess this is a big celebration. So there's probably going to be some kind of sale associated with this coming up pretty soon.
That's right. We're concluding Cash for Trash now and March Madness next month. So we're just going to keep it going.
That goes with that big dumpster you got out there with a car.
That's right. Yes, sir.
That's a cool idea.
Exactly right.
Well, congratulations, Trent. I know you guys deserve it. You guys do a wonderful job out there, and it's always a pleasure to see you again. And keep up the good work.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Tell Stanley man to start over and work a little harder so get out and catch up with his children. Folks, we'll be right back with more living right after this.
Oh, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is the paint. Uh-oh. I just knocked a tree over. This is the paint doctor. I got the color wheel. Now, you know what a color wheel is? It is the wheel at the paint works where you pick all your colors to paint your room. It could be a multicolored beard. It could be a underarm fan. You never can tell. One thing we do know is that it's time to paint. You know, you can make your wife very happy if you go to your house and paint some rooms, or you paint the outside of the house, the inside of the house. It makes them feel very good because you work hard for them and they like that. All women like to see their man sweat. You know, they do. Honeydew is what they do. And you get to do it too. So you go to the paint works at 1960 North Washington Street and you see David Heikkinen over there, and he's the real paint doctor. He fix you up with color. It's so nice when the color is right. Go to Paintworks today. Martin Senior. See? Martin Senior. Right there. Martin Senior at the Paintworks. Bye, and we see you next time. I'm burning up.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Tennessee.
Hey, we're back. We're right in the middle of trying to reset the set, and here we are. I am absolutely tickled to death. We told you that on March the 19th, Jay Gatsby is coming back to his South Jackson mansion at South Jackson Civic Center and having one of those huge lavish parties that he always has. And he's brought a group in of some friends of his he met down in South Mississippi, who translated on up into Middle Tennessee around Murfreesboro, the Jake Leg Stompers, folks. And they are here, two of the let's see, there's 5 of them, so that'd be 10 legs. We have 4 of the 10 legs with us today.
Well, 9 of them. We have a peg leg, as well.
Oh, you do have a peg leg as well?
We don't mention it.
We don't talk about him much.
It was a drinking accident that happened when the railroad was involved.
Railroad was involved.
Please stop.
Bill and Sam. And what's your stage name?
Hambone Willie Neville, and this is Mr. Horatio Algernon Whiplash, but we just shortened it to Noisy.
Noisy.
Because he makes a lot of racket.
A lot of racket, and as you can see here, folks, these guys and their fellow band members play early 1900s music, pre-war music, string band, juke band,
we could like
jug
to call
band.
It chicken fried pre-war Hokum-Billy jug band music for short. So basically anything that
Hokum-Billy.
Hokum-Billy. It's Hokum music mixed with hillbilly because, most of us are, Well, we're all from the South, except for one, with Jersey Slim. He's Jersey Slim Hawkins. He's from Bayonne, New Jersey, a town so tough even the Statue of Liberty can't face it. But we
I think he knows where Tony Soprano's actually buried.
Really?
Yeah, he
Really?
knows where the real Tony Soprano is. Yeah, he's
That's really cool.
ex-safe cracker.
That's really
reformed.
cool.
We've reformed him.
If people were to go on your website or look for you at the jakelegstompers.com, or
that's it,
you can find them and all their bios, and you can see their prison pictures where they all have spent a little time in the slammer.
Well, things happen, and
when you're playing music, it just things do come down.
There's mostly because nothing we did. It's an association thing. When you're playing the speakeasy crowds and stuff like that, there's some nefarious characters, mafia types and all that stuff.
Right.
Sometimes you just get caught up in events.
Well, how did y'all meet Jay Gatsby?
At a party, of course. And nobody really knows him very well except at those incredible parties.
Right.
And if you've ever been to one and you remember it, then you weren't really there. So.
Very good. That's probably the best answer I've ever heard about one of his deals, because when it was over with, people were. Have you ever woken up and had somebody inside your bass fiddle case?
I haven't personally, because that. But our bass player, Mr. Ramshackle, Jack Dunshee, who's actually from Tullahoma.
He is. Grew up here.
Yeah, that's how we met his second wife. Woke up and found it inside his bass case.
That is incredible.
He was already married to her when he met her. It was at a Gatsby party.
It was at a Gatsby
That's
party.
right.
Yeah.
And he didn't even remember that.
He had no idea.
It's funny how those things happen.
But it was a long, successful marriage that lasted over a long Labor Day weekend.
You can tell, folks, this is going to be a big time, going to be a good time. Now, to get down to the truth of all of this, how long have you guys been together, playing music together?
About a dozen years.
About a dozen years, and out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee?
Our world headquarters is in Bucksnort, Tennessee. We have a little complex down there.
At Bucksnort?
Bucksnort. Yeah, that's where the record label Hoodoo Records is headquartered in Bucksnort.
All of our international development and everything down there. We have a little plaza down there beside the Stuckey's truck stop down in Bucksnort, Tennessee, down where I'm originally from Hickman County, Grinder Switch.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, these guys are going to be on stage at the Great Gatsby Gala all night, and that's March the 19th. And how about giving us just a little bit of example of what's going to happen down there?
I don't know.
Play something. You need that board over there?
Yeah, let me see if I can tune that thing up. It's really hard to keep in tune, but let me see what I can do.
Good thing about the state of Tennessee, you can now carry a loaded weapon into a bar and also a washboard like this, both of which can be very dangerous and not be wielded unless by qualified individuals.
All right, what are you going to do for us?
Well, we're going to do a little taste of this little song from 1928. It's a song called My Four Reasons. It's by Banjo Ike Robinson, but it featured vocals by Frankie Half Pint Jackson, who was a 5-foot-tall female impersonator out of Montgomery, Alabama. He was the first transvestite of the blues. So,
really?
Probably more history than you wanted to know.
That's actually a true story. And after he retired
but it is
from
true.
music, he worked for the Pentagon. So there you go.
Yeah.
A song called My Four Reasons. We're going to do some breaks and let him show this washboard off. You ready?
Yep.
1, 2.
That's one of my four reasons.
Rolls around with the lower knees, buzz those hands, buzz these. Man, that's 2 of my 4 reasons. And when she chews that garlic and these Limburger cheese,
oh my!
I get a weak and then way down around my knees. Man, I told you all, listen now my mind at ease. That's all for my 4 reasons. You know what, I'm gonna play a little bit.
the Jake Leg Stompers, ladies and gentlemen, right here. I tell you what, you just put that on your calendar right now. That is the Great Gatsby Gala. Jay Gatsby is having a party at South Jackson Civic Center. That will be on March the 19th. We will have a casino involved there. There'll be plenty of food. There'll be plenty of libations for you. And the Jake Leg Stompers on stage the whole evening. You come see us. Call for your reservations, 455-5321. South Jackson Civic Center. Jake Leg Stompers. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank y'all.
We'll be right back after this message.
Partners for Healing provides medical care to the working uninsured of Coffee, Franklin, and Moore counties. We are in Tullahoma from 8 to 5, Monday through Thursdays, and in Manchester on Fridays from 8 to 12. We provide primary medical care and offer an in-house disease management program.
My name is Rosie Mitchell, and I would just like to say I am blessed to have partners in my life.
Please call 455-5014 for more information. Thank you for being one of our Partners for Healing.
Hello, this is Janie Price. When my husband Ray Price would tour across the country, his favorite place to dine was Cracker Barrel Old Country Store locations. His favorite thing to order was the Uncle Herschel.
And the beauty of it all is forever, you'll be holding me to.
I miss Ray dearly, and I'm so proud that his last album, Beauty Is the Final Sessions, is available at his favorite restaurant.
A love affair to remember.
The project includes a duet with Martina McBride and harmony vocals from Vince Gill. Ray believed this to be the best recording he had ever made.
Oh, I wish I was 18 again.
I think you'll agree when you pick up your copy of Beauty Is the Final Sessions at a Cracker Barrel Old Country Store location near you or at crackerbarrel.com.
A world without breast cancer is a world with more birthdays. And signing up for the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk will help us get there faster. The American Cancer Society invests in groundbreaking breast cancer research, and we're part of every community. In fact, 1 in 2 women newly diagnosed with breast cancer turns to us for support. Sign up today at makingstrideswalk.org. Together, we can finish the fight against breast cancer.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us on the set now Jimmy Dale, who is the new Assistant Executive Director of Life Care Center here in Tullahoma, and you're new at that job, I think. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I've been there about 2 months now. I previously came from Athens, Tennessee. I was an administrator in training there, and so a couple months ago I transferred over here to take on a new role.
So have you been in the life care system for a while?
Yep. I actually started out working with life care in Ottawa. While I was in school, I worked there as a valet, and I worked in dietary, and I worked in housekeeping, and different, wherever they needed me really. And so from that experience, I decided to try to further that and move up and see what I could do with that. So that's brought me to where I am today.
I find it interesting that you actually worked in housekeeping, because I ran a hotel once, and one of the nice things about it was you had to learn about the housekeeping department, which actually meant you cleaned a lot of rooms and did a lot of stuff like that. But it builds character. It helps you certainly later in life.
It's good to know, everything that's going on and how to do everything that's going on in the facility and things like that. So I appreciate the fact that I was able to do that. I think it helps me do what I do.
I would kind of imagine that what you do is really pretty rewarding, because you guys are helping a lot of folks.
Oh, it definitely is. Yep. Every day, you see people smiling, getting better, getting healthier. You get both sides of it, of course, because we have some people that are near the end of life, and that's rewarding too, because we get letters from families thanking us for helping them during that phase, and it's good to see that appreciation, and people see the hard work that we put into that, and it definitely is rewarding in a lot of different ways.
I would also imagine, and you mentioned that you get some patients that are nearing the end of life, but that's a big burden off the family when you guys take over the care of those people who, I'd have to think that's just a big relief for them. Yeah, I know it's tough for some people to make that decision. I'm actually dealing with that. My grandfather's in a nursing home himself, and you know, at a certain point it becomes too much to take care of them at home, and I think it's a great option for anybody really who, you know, is at that point. You know, you come and you have this care, 24-hour care, sure, and premier care with Life Care, obviously. Around the clock, you know, you get all the amenities that you could need, and you can come at your leisure, any time of the day, any time of the night. So I think it is a big luxury to have that opportunity to do that. Not everyone, however, who comes to your facility is necessarily at the end of their life. There are some folks who come there and take advantage probably of your skills. Yep, we have a rehab department, and we do inpatient and outpatient rehab. So some people are there that don't even necessarily stay there. They're just there doing rehab therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. Different things that they can do to get better and get healthier and get back to everyday living. I've been in that facility a number of times. I've actually done some karaoke shows there a few years back. Oh yeah, you need to come back. When I was doing this sort of thing all the time. But you guys really work hard at, I think, keeping these people involved in life and doing interesting things and fun things for them. Yeah, I know. Glenda, our activities director, was here on this show actually a couple weeks ago, I think, or months ago. I don't know. But yeah, we definitely try hard to maintain that, and we have a ton of activities on the slate. We have a full calendar. You know, every hour, every 30 minutes, something new is happening. And we try to appeal to personal interests as far as, you know, if someone doesn't like any of the activities that we offer, we'll talk to them and see if there's anything else we can offer to help them. And I know that you have a lot of skilled nursing folks that are on your staff, but I believe doctors come in and see the patients as well. Is that correct? We're actually having an event coming up March 22nd at 11. We're hosting a coffee chamber event there. So I welcome anyone, you know, in the community that would like to be a part of that. Come on out. We'll be glad to give a tour, just show around our facility. You know, see it for yourself. That's the Tullahoma facility that you're talking about, where the coffee is. Okay, now you're right. That'd be a great chance if you have not been to that facility to actually come out and check it out, because it's a beautiful facility, number one, and it's amazing the care that you get in that facility. And you know, we've been here a long time too, and that's another, I think, benefit for us. You know, Life Care has been serving this community for 40 years. Yes. And I was just a kid when they first came here. Yeah. I mean, I've heard great things about it, so I feel like I'm in a good situation, you know. People have kind of paved the way for me, so I'm just here to hopefully carry that on. Well, I kind of think you enjoy what you're doing, because you smile about that and you seem excited and enthusiastic about it. I love it. You know, and it's really a great thing that you do for our community, and certainly a tremendous asset for people to be able to have the use of that facility that honestly cares about people, and I think you guys do, because I've seen it firsthand a number of times. Well, welcome to this community. Thank you. You know, I hope you enjoy your time here in Tullahoma. You're probably moving up to bigger and better things in a few years, I understand. But so far so good. I'm loving it here. Okay. Everyone's been great. Don't forget the Chamber Coffee. That's the Tullahoma Area Chamber of Commerce, I guess, and that was when? The 22nd of March. Of March, okay. Sir. All right, and I think those are all at 11 o'clock in the morning. Yep. And so make sure you check that out. Great facility, and you need to get out there and meet Jimmy and all the great staff out there and enjoy that coffee. Thank you so much for coming by today. We appreciate it very much. Folks, we'll be right back in just a moment with more Living right after this.
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Did I tell you we were going to have some kind of show today?
And we have. You
they were
told
fun.
the truth, John.
They were fun.
Everything from a hospital changing names to one of our car dealerships winning a national award.
Isn't that great? That's wonderful.
To Life Care Center with some new folks involved over there, the Jake Leg Stompers.
And Jackie Duncan.
Jackie
We've
Duncan.
had a nice group of people in here today.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah.
Fuller, did you think we could still be doing it like this after 22 years?
Oh yeah, I've got confidence.
Got confidence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, isn't that
You haven't
great?
given it a thought.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
I still wonder what I'm going to do
Tomorrow.
be when I grow up. Now
Yeah.
you too.
I'm not growing up. They say once you get past 60, if you hadn't grown up yet, you don't have to.
No kidding.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
I've made it. I've made it, Fuller.
Okay,
You,
super.
you surprised us all. You're
Peter
still
Pan.
with us.
I've told you that before. One time I looked in Fran's room and there was a book called The Peter Pan Syndrome, and I said, "What's that
you?
about?" She said, "It's about you." Oh, all right.
I like that commercial on TV with Peter Pan.
Yeah.
You seen it? It's cute.
Yeah, kicks that old man in the face.
Uh-huh.
Hey, folks, we appreciate you being here with us today. We're getting ready to leave, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring the Jake Leg Stompers back to you with that wonderful singing woman they have with them, and they're going to end the show with, well, what else? At last, it's over. See you next week.
Bye-bye.